Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the year once again. We've replaced Elijah Collins with a much better looking man, Mike Maahs. It is time for TinChattin. Mike, welcome back.
Hello,
How's
sir.
your hibernation been?
Well, hibernation from baseball, yes. From broadcasting athletics, no. But I have been looking forward to getting our 11th season of TinChattin underway. Looking forward to this 2023 Midwest League baseball season.
Yeah.
And everything has to go up because 2022, by the numbers, was the worst year in the history of the Fort Wayne franchise, which dates back in 1993. And, you know, we got a number of new players. We've got, with one exception, an all-new coaching and support staff. And hopefully they'll come in with some good and exciting ideas. And hopefully we get the players to listen to the coaches and perform like we hope to see them.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of that, obviously you mentioned new faces, new coaches. The new coach in town, not a guy that's new to the Summit City though. Johnny Matthews back once again with the Fort Wayne TinCaps, was the hitting coach here for 3 seasons from 18, 19, and 2021. I know he's excited to be back. Mike, how excited are you to see Johnny Matthews in a different role this time, taking over his first ball club?
I've always enjoyed talking with him, be it for a pregame show or just talking during BP when he was here the first time. He's a likable guy.
He really is.
He's, I told Elijah before we started this today, he's a player's manager. The players love him. All the comments when the team came here, though he wasn't their manager, he was a hitting coach, he was eyes, he was ears. And to a man, they said they're going to love playing for him. And when you got that little a bit of support, you're doing something right. And Matthews said that he enjoyed his time here.
And we did actually get a chance to catch up with Johnny Matthews earlier this week. Here's what the man had to say about coming to Parkview Field.
I think you have to be who you are. And so if I were to, you know, be somebody as the hitting coach and then be somebody else as the manager, I think the players would see through that, and that's not really my style. I kind of am who I am, and I try to be genuine with these guys. And, you know, they kind of have to know how much you care about them before they care how much you know, sort of, you know. And so I try to build those relationships. And regardless of what hat, I guess, I'm wearing, that's kind of the most important thing to me.
Yeah, certainly good to hear from Johnny again. Certainly glad to see Johnny Matthews once again. Like you said, I know the players are happy to have him in town. And speaking of those players, Mike, a fairly different looking roster from last season for the Fort Wayne TinCaps. I know talking to you pre-show, obviously, I think we have 11 guys from last year's group that are back this season, but a lot of fresh new faces and a lot of guys who did a lot of really good things down at the low A level last year with Lake E that ended up winning a title down there, Mike.
And that's going to be the key. As you say, a number of the players that are here this year were at Lake Elsinore last year, and all they did was win the California League Championship. Nothing much, but yeah, they won a title. And the Padres front office has come out and they've said to all the affiliates, make winning a priority in 2023. That's part of how you grow as a baseball player. Learn to win. Get that fire in the belly, that desire that our 9 is going to be better than the other team's 9. And a number of these players, and I think we're going to talk, I think, in a moment about Jackson Merrill, obviously the top draft pick from 2 years ago in our ballpark now. From him on down, they got this winning attitude. And that's something that we haven't seen in Fort Wayne, in all honesty, since 2017.
I was going to say, Jackson Merrill, you mentioned him, might be the guy, might be one of those prospects. Obviously, we were Robert Hassel III the last couple of years, but this guy, I feel like, Mike, is one of those guys that has this hype to him. I mean, he spent some time up in spring training with the Padres this season. He hit 330, 339, I think it was last year in two stops in the Padres minor league system. A guy that certainly seems to fit the billing of what is going to be a superstar at this level and then hopefully moving forward for the San Diego Padres.
The person that he reminds me of, and again, just initially, reminds me of one Trey Turner.
Yeah.
When he came here, and he was the top pick of the Padres back several years ago. And I see a lot of the same traits. The thing that really amazes me the most, and again, it's early. The team's only played 2 games yet this year, but he seems mature for his age.
Yeah, he does. 19 years old.
And he's got the baseball sense, the baseball mentality.
Mike, let's check in with one more position group now, the outfielders. Obviously, last year we had the guys like the Robert Hassel IIIs who headlined that outfield. The guy that we're really looking at again this year, Joshua Meahs. Meahs was a guy who was here, he was down, he was here again, he was up in Double-A, bounced around a little bit, had some struggles, but ultimately 22 home runs in one season last year for I believe 20-year-old last year.
Yeah.
Pretty good year. Got to cut down on the strikeouts, but how excited are you to see Joshua Meahs back in a TinCaps uniform and see some of that power down at Parkview Field again?
You and I both saw him a couple of days ago. You got to interview him a little bit, and he's the same as he was last year in one respect. Very kind, courteous, cordial. Obviously, he's built like a baseball player should be. We know he's got some speed. We know he has power, evidenced by that 500-foot-plus home run he hit in Lansing last year. But you called it. And when Joshua Meahs learns to lay off the breaking ball and make the pitcher throw the pitch that he wants him to throw, then the fun can start.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually got a chance to catch up with Joshua Meahs earlier this week as well, just kind of how he approached his offseason, what he's working on heading into this year.
Yeah, constant adjustments, been making adjustments all offseason, so see how it fares as the season goes on. So, yeah, just constant adjustments.
What do you think you learned from last year? Obviously, you were up here, you were back down, you were back up here again. Just how do you think you learn and grow from last year and bring that into your second full year?
Just grow through adversity, honestly. This game's going to humble you, so staying even keeled and being able to work through stuff is huge in this game.
Always great to catch up with Joshua. Big man, not a man of many words, but still great to catch up with him. Mike, talking about this week, obviously TinCaps dropped these first 2, not putting a lot of stock in these ones. First time these guys have really been together. We'll kind of sweep it under the rug, but they got the series finale tomorrow up in West Michigan, and then next week they are home for 6 games with the Lake County captains starting on Tuesday.
It's just going to be a fun time, and you and I have been in this business long enough. You always hear the phrase, win 3/4 of your games at home, try to win half your games on the road, and you can hold some hardware up at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And we're going to get a chance next week. 6 times, 6 games against Lake County, another division foe, and a chance to get your feet firmly planted on the ground as we really get this 2023 season off and running.
Yeah, and looking forward to really next Tuesday, too, because shout out to Beverly Perry. You guys can't see her over there, but she dialed up what's hopefully going to be a beautiful forecast for us on Tuesday night. Might be the warmest opening day at Parkview Field in April that I can remember since I've been here, so that's saying something. I'm usually out there in a jacket and hat or something, so excited for that and excited for this team to get back here.
There's a rumor going around that if we have any rain on Tuesday night, you're going to give Beverly an umbrella that's got a few holes in it.
I might have to.
But yeah, she delivers the good weather, and
hopefully the
TinCaps can deliver on the field. The fans will love it, and they'll keep coming out to Parkview Field to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike, the TinCaps are back. It's going to be a fun summer here in the Summit City. Looking forward to a fun summer of baseball. He is Mike Maahs, though. I am Justin Prince, the first of many TinChattins for the summer. We are back next week, and Elijah and I are back in the locker room after the break.